I never expected moving into a quiet, well-manicured neighborhood would come with so much drama. When I bought my townhome in the Crestwood Ridge HOA, I figured I was stepping into peaceful suburbia, manicured lawns, friendly neighbors, quiet evenings, and for the first few weeks, that's exactly what it was. I work from home as a freelance engineer, and most of my equipment gets delivered directly to my front porch. Tools, gadgets, specialized parts, you name it. Normally I'd get a delivery notification, step outside, and boom, there it was. But one Monday morning, I got a text from Amazon. Your package has been delivered. A brand new multimeter I'd been waiting for. I stepped outside, barefoot, coffee in hand, excited to crack it open. Only nothing, no package. I blinked, checked the bushes, looked around. Nothing. Maybe they marked it delivered too early, I thought, but no. The app even showed a photo of it on my porch. I was confused but didn't panic. One missing package isn't unheard of. I reported it as missing and moved on, but then it kept happening. Another package the next week. A camera module for a client's prototype. Then a pair of wireless earbuds. Then a jacket I ordered during a late-night scroll. All of them marked delivered, all of them gone without a trace. That's when my trust in the neighborhood began to fracture. I did the usual, asked the neighbors, posted in the HOA Facebook group, even called the local post office. Most people just gave me sympathetic responses, a few shrugged. Porch pirates are getting clever these days, someone wrote. But one response stood out. It was from Karen Eldridge, the HOA president herself. Please refrain from making false claims about crime in our community, she posted in all caps. Then added, it reflects poorly on Crestwood Ridge's reputation. If you're having issues, maybe reconsider where you shop. Reconsider where I shop. That rubbed me the wrong way. There I was, trying to solve a pattern of theft, and the head of the HOA was more concerned about public image than residents' safety. Something about her tone, cold, dismissive, almost hostile, made me bristle. I looked her up. Karen lived just 4 houses down from me. Immaculate lawn, 2 stone lions on the porch, and a big wooden sign that said, HOA, keeping Crestwood classy. Figures. At this point, I'd lost nearly $900 in gear, so I bought a $70 security camera from Costco and installed it discreetly behind the upper corner of my front porch, nestled into the shadow of the overhang. The very next delivery came 2 days later, a box of wiring harnesses for a custom build. I got the alert, pulled up the live feed on my phone, and waited. It sat there, untouched, for 20 minutes. Then I saw movement. A figure approached the edge of the porch, slowly, cautiously. I squinted. Slim figure, hoodie, baseball cap. They grabbed the package and turned, but I couldn't see the face. Damn it, the angle was just too high. I ran outside, but they were already gone. The only thing I could make out in the footage was that they didn't come from the street, they came from within the neighborhood. This wasn't some random porch pirate, it was someone local. And now I was pissed. I posted a still shot in the HOA Facebook group. Caught someone stealing off my porch today. Please keep an eye out. A few folks responded with concern, but once again, Karen chimed in. Security footage that doesn't clearly show a face is not credible. We don't tolerate baseless accusations. Then she locked the thread, locked it, like she was trying to control the narrative. I fumed for hours. Who the hell did she think she was? If she wasn't stealing them herself, she sure wasn't doing anything to help. In fact, she seemed more annoyed that I was bringing attention to the problem than she was about the crime itself. That's when I started noticing strange things. Karen would always seem to be walking her little white dog right around the time my packages were scheduled to arrive. I'd see her pause near my driveway, pretend to check her phone, glance around. Once I even caught her staring at my porch when she thought no one was watching. A part of me still wanted to believe she couldn't be that petty, that someone with HOA power wouldn't be dumb enough to steal packages in broad daylight. But after the 5th time it happened, and this time, it was a Bluetooth tool calibrator, worth $300. I knew I had to catch them. I needed undeniable proof. That night I sat in my garage with a pizza, a Red Bull, and a stack of old boxes. If Karen wanted to play stupid games, I was ready to play smarter. I'd watched a youth build a glitter bomb trap once, and I figured, how hard could it be? I rigged a box with a spring-loaded canister, a small vial of fine pink glitter, and the piece de resistance, a tiny motion-activated camera embedded inside a false lid. I added a GPS tracker taped to the bottom of the box, linked to my phone. The goal was simple: get her to take the bait, catch it on camera, and track where it went. And so, the trap was set. I labeled the box with my name and a fake Amazon logo, placed it neatly in the center of my porch the next morning, and waited. This time, I was determined. I even skipped a client call just to monitor it. At 9:41 a.m., the motion sensor on the porch camera went off. A figure approached, hoodie hat, small dog at her side. She looked around, glanced down the street, then reached for the box. I held my breath. She took it. She actually took it. I watched her turn and walk off down the street. Same casual gait, same smug attitude. And that was the moment everything changed. The moment Karen walked off with that decoy package tucked under her arm and her yappy little Maltese trailing behind her, I knew the game had changed. I didn't celebrate. Not yet. I stayed calm, quiet, calculating. I kept my eyes locked on the GPS tracker app on my phone. The blinking dot moved at a slow pace, turning the corner near Maplewood Drive, then stopping 3 houses down Karen's house. I zoomed in to confirm. She went right into her driveway, right into her fortress of HOA holiness, right where I expected her to go. My hands were practically shaking, not from nerves, but from the raw adrenaline of finally catching her. I gave it 20 minutes, 20 long minutes. I didn't want to spook her or come off suspicious. And besides, I wanted the glitter bomb to do its job first. That box wasn't just a prank, it was my evidence kit, my confession trap, and my revenge mechanism all rolled into one. Inside that ordinary-looking package was a custom-built glitter payload connected to a pressure switch just under the lid. As soon as it opened, the mechanism would trigger a spring-loaded burst of glitter, fine, clinging, impossible to clean, bright pink glitter. And the best part, it was all being recorded from inside the box, up close, with audio. And I could access the footage remotely. Around 10:20 a.m., my phone buzzed. The camera had activated. My hands moved faster than my thoughts. I clicked open the feed. What I saw made me cover my mouth to keep from laughing out loud. The camera caught everything. Karen had brought the box into her kitchen, sat it on the marble counter, and hovered over it like a child about to open a forbidden present. She checked over her shoulder twice. No one else was in frame. Her house was pristine. Granite countertops, wine rack, family portraits lined up perfectly. On the back wall, she wore a smug little smirk like she was proud of herself. Then, with the delicate fingers of a practiced thief, she peeled back the tape. The box creaked open, boom. A cloud of pink glitter erupted in her face like a 4th of July sparkler. The moment it hit her, she screamed, high-pitched and shocked. It filled the air, landed in her hair, burst all over her counter, her clothes. Her smug little grin wiped clean in half a second. She stumbled back, knocking a vase to the floor. The dog started barking hysterically. Karen flailed around like she'd been sprayed with acid, coughing and sputtering, swearing up a storm. "I've been assaulted," she yelled. "I've been assaulted by a glitter bomb. Lady, please." She ran to the sink and tried to rinse her face off. But anyone who's dealt with glitter knows it's the herpes of craft supplies. Once it's on you, it's never coming off. Her hands were sparkly, her blouse done for. And the best part, the entire meltdown was caught in glorious HD, with her face front and center. She grabbed the box and threw it across the room. But it was too late. The camera had already uploaded the footage to the cloud. Victory, sweet, sparkling victory. But I wasn't done. I didn't just want to laugh privately at her humiliation. I wanted her held accountable. I wanted the truth to come out, not the sugar-coated lies she posted in the HOA group, not the dismissive nonsense about reputation or unverified claims. I wanted the facts, so I edited together a short clip from the footage, just 30 seconds long, enough to show her stealing the package, bringing it into her home, and opening it right before the glitter explosion. I blurred the background for privacy and posted it in the HOA Facebook group with the caption, "To the person who's been stealing my packages, I hope you enjoy the glitter. Caught on camera. Maybe next time, don't steal from your neighbors." Within an hour, the group exploded. People couldn't believe it. Comments poured in. "Wait, is that Karen's kitchen? Oh my god, this is insane. The glitter bomb idea is genius. She's been denying it for weeks. Time for a new HOA president, y'all." Karen didn't respond for the first few hours. I figured she was in full-blown panic mode, trying to figure out what to do, but eventually she couldn't stay silent. She commented under the post, "This video was illegally obtained. I was opening a suspicious package left unattended. I will be consulting my attorney." Sure, Karen. You accidentally stole a box addressed to me, carried it into your house, opened it in private, and got blasted by Sparkles because you were worried about the neighborhood's safety. The group wasn't buying it. The replies, "Shredded herd, no one believes you, Karen, you're done. Step down." So that's where my missing iPad went. And that last comment triggered a whole new storm. Turns out I wasn't the only one losing packages. 3 other neighbors chimed in that they had experienced similar mystery disappearances over the past few months. Bluetooth speakers, baby monitors, even a pair of Nike sneakers, and all of it had been written off as porch pirates. Karen had blamed them every time. But now, with video evidence of her sticky fingers, the dots were connecting fast. That same night, I received a direct message from one of the HOA board members, Lisa Chen, who lived 2 streets over. "You have no idea how long I've suspected her," she wrote. "This might finally be the nail in the coffin. We're calling an emergency meeting." An emergency meeting. My plan had worked. Not only had I exposed her publicly, but that sparked a reckoning within the HOA leadership itself. I wasn't some bitter neighbor anymore. I was the guy who took on the queen and shattered her plastic tiara with a box full of glitter, and she had no idea what was coming next. I leaned back in my chair that night, sipping on a beer as I watched the glitter bomb video loop on my phone one more time. Her expression wide-eyed horror, mouth agape, pink sparkles hanging from her eyelashes was the most satisfying thing I'd seen in months. I didn't feel bad, not one bit. She wanted to steal from me, discredit me, treat me like a liar, then let her lie in the sparkly bed she made. And this was only the beginning. The fallout was going to be something else. By the next morning, I'd become something of a neighborhood legend. Everywhere I went, whether it was walking my dog, grabbing mail, or taking out the trash, people stopped to talk. I got thumbs-ups from complete strangers and high feet from kids who thought the glitter bomb was the coolest thing ever. My inbox was flooded with messages, some from neighbors thanking me, others asking how to build their own traps. But underneath all the praise was a storm brewing, and it was aimed squarely at Karen Eldridge. She'd ruled this HOA like a petty dictator for years, and now, thanks to my camera and a well-placed box of sparkles, her kingdom was collapsing. Of course, Karen wasn't going down quietly. She filed a formal complaint against me with the HOA board that very morning, accusing me of harassment, slander, and reckless endangerment. She claimed I had violated her privacy by recording her inside her home and said I had maliciously targeted her with a hazardous device. Hazardous, really? Glitter. The only thing hazardous about that box was how it exploded her credibility. But still, she was trying to play the victim. She even showed up at my door later that afternoon, sunglasses on, arms crossed, glitter still faintly stuck in her hairline. "You're going to regret this," she hissed. "My lawyer will be in touch." I leaned against the doorframe and it smiled. "You might want to wipe your eyebrow. You missed a spot." She stormed off, and I immediately emailed our HOA board the footage, along with a written summary of every missing package and a copy of the GPS log proving the box ended up in her house. I CC'd my own attorney just in case she made good on her threat. Turns out, I didn't need to worry. The HOA board wasn't buying her story. Lisa Chen and 2 other board members had already scheduled a closed-door meeting to discuss Karen's removal, and apparently I wasn't the only one who'd handed in evidence. After I posted the video, 2 other neighbors found ring footage of her loitering near their porches around the time their packages vanished. One guy, Marcus, even discovered an old clip of Karen taking a box and stuffing it in her oversized dog stroller, the one she used for her precious Maltese waffles. That was the final straw. The board called an emergency HOA town hall meeting for Thursday evening at the clubhouse. The moment I walked in, I could feel the tension. Folding chairs filled the room. Neighbors whispered, some with printed screenshots of my video in hand. Karen sat at the front in a stiff blue pantsuit, glitter residue clinging to her shoulder. Seems like poetic justice. She didn't speak to anyone. Her lawyer, a bored-looking man with thinning hair and an overstuffed briefcase, sat beside her. Lisa opened the meeting with calm authority. "This meeting has been called to address allegations of theft, misconduct, and abuse of power by HOA President Karen Eldridge," she began. "Evidence has been submitted by several residents. We will review it together, and a board vote will follow." They played my video on the projector. The room fell silent as Karen opened the decoy package and got absolutely annihilated by the glitter bomb. A few people chuckled, someone clapped. Even Lisa couldn't hide a smirk. Karen's face turned crimson. Her lawyer stood up and objected. "This video is an invasion of privacy." Lisa cut him off. The package was clearly addressed to the homeowner, and it was taken from their property. The recording was triggered only upon tampering. "We have reviewed the legal boundaries, and it was admissible for this discussion." Then came the witness statements, people confirming their packages had vanished. Others testifying to Karen's bizarre obsession with monitoring unsightly deliveries and front porch clutter. A teenage girl stood up and said she saw Karen digging through mailboxes once, though she hadn't realized it was a problem until now. And then came Marcus, played his own vegetarian, stealing his dog's flea medication from an Amazon box while pretending to check her phone. Garin stood up and tried to explain it all away. "I was concerned about porch pirates. I was collecting boxes to keep them safe. I was going to return them." The room erupted in disbelief. "Then why didn't you tell anyone?" Someone shouted. "Why'd you lie in the Facebook group?" Another asked. Karen's lawyer leaned over to whisper in her ear, but the damage was done. The vote was held right then and there. Lisa called for the board members to raise their hands. All 5 went up. Then the residents got a chance to vote. Nearly every hand in the room joined them. Unanimous. Karen Eldridge was officially removed as HOA president, effective immediately. She huffed, grabbed her glitter-speckled purse and stormed out, her heels clacking against the tile floor like punctuation marks to her downfall. Her lawyer followed her like a defeated puppy. As the door shut behind her, the room burst into applause. Some people were cheering. I was still in shock. I honestly didn't expect it to end that quickly. But I wasn't complaining. After the meeting, Lisa approached me with a firm handshake and a grin. "We've needed a change for years," she said. "You meant to save this neighborhood." I laughed. "All it took was glitter and a camera." She nodded in guts. "Speaking of which, we're going to need someone to step in temporarily until we can hold new elections." Someone the neighborhood trusts. I blinked. You're not asking me, are you? I'm just saying you've got the spine and you care about this place. It was flattering, sure, but I didn't sign up for any of this to get a title or a job in local politics. I just wanted my packages. Still, something in me clicked. Maybe this neighborhood could be better, fairer, less petty. Maybe all it needed was someone willing to challenge bullies like Karen. Let me think about it, I said. That night, as I walked back to my house under the glow of the street lamps, I noticed something strange. Karen's house was dark, curtains pulled, porch empty, even her stone lions were gone. Just gone. It was like she'd packed up her empire and disappeared. I didn't know what would come next. Maybe a lawsuit, maybe just some angry emails. But for now, the neighborhood was calm again. My porch was quiet. My packages sat exactly where they were supposed to, and best of all, I'd won. Just when I thought the whole fiasco was behind me, that peace had returned to Crestwood Ridge, and that Karen had crawled away with her tail tucked between her glitter-coated legs. She reminded me people like her don't vanish quietly. For a couple of weeks after the vote, things were eerily calm. I was still getting random knocks on my door, neighbors bringing over cookies, thanking me again, even asking if I'd consider running for HOA president full-time. I kept saying no. Politics wasn't my thing. I didn't want to babysit grown adults arguing over fence heights and mailbox paint. I wanted to go back to my work, enjoy my porch in peace, and get my packages like a normal person. And that's how it was until the letter arrived. It came in a plain envelope, no return address. Inside was a typed note and a flash drive. The note was short, cold, and unmistakably her. Let's see how smug you are when the real footage goes public. I stared at it for a long moment, heart beating faster. What footage? I plugged the drive into my laptop with cautious fingers, fully expecting some cheap scare video or attempt at intimidation. But no, it was real footage. Security footage. My footage. Except this time, it had been edited in the sleaziest, most dishonest way imaginable. It spliced together clips from my security cam and the glitter bomb cam to make it look like I was some kind of creep who had booby-trapped a package out of spite and malicious intent. They even slowed down the explosion, added dramatic music, and chopped my original captions into something twisted, like I had planted a harmful explosive on purpose to injure her. The kind of thing that, if taken out of context, could get me in serious trouble. My stomach dropped. It was look. For Karen, she couldn't take the loss. She couldn't accept getting caught. So now she was trying to frame me as the bad guy. The folder on the flash drive was labeled to be leaked. That meant she hadn't released it yet, but she wanted me to know she could. I stared at the screen for several minutes before finally letting out a bitter laugh. This was her last card, and it was a desperate one. I forwarded everything to Lisa and the rest of the HOA board. Lisa replied immediately, "We'll handle this." She's grasping at straws. But I didn't want to just wait and hope, so I called up a friend of mine, Caleb, a cybersecurity expert who owed me a favor from a past project. I told him everything. He took one look at the doctored footage and burst out laughing. "This is so bad it's laughable. I've seen YouTube drama edits more convincing than this. You're fine, but if she posts it, you'll want to be ahead of it." That's when I got an idea. If Karen wanted to play dirty with fake videos, I'd answer with the truth and make it loud. I edited together a new video. This time it wasn't just the glitter bomb footage. I included a full timeline, the pattern of stolen packages, the fake porch pirate claims, the HOA forum screenshots where she dismissed the thefts, the GPS tracker showing the package entering her house, and finally her own post-meeting meltdown as she got voted out. I added text narration for context, labeled each section with timestamps, and closed it out with a message. Let this be a warning to anyone who thinks they're untouchable. The truth always finds its way out. I uploaded it publicly. YouTube, Reddit, even the Nextdoor app. It didn't take long to go viral, at least locally. Within 48 hours it had thousands of views. People across the country commented. Some shared their own HOA horror stories. Others called Karen a glitter pirate. A few even made memes of her mid-glitter eruption. One person dubbed over the explosion with a Michael Bay sound, the effect, and added a rainbow filter. It was hilarious. But most importantly, it absolutely destroyed the narrative Karen was trying to build. Her doctored footage never saw the light of day. Whether she got cold feet or realized she'd been outmaneuvered, again, I'll never know. But she never released it, and that should have been the end. But Karen had one more surprise in her rotten little bag of tricks. About a week later, I came home from a weekend hike to find a notice of zoning violation taped to my front door. According to the letter, I was in violation of local code, the 21st of March 17, for having unauthorized surveillance equipment visible from the street. I stared at it, jaw tightening. It was a petty, thinly veiled attempt to punish me. Karen may have lost her crown, but she still had friends in petty places, specifically one of her drinking buddies who worked part-time in the city zoning office. I called Lisa again. She was livid. "This is insane," she said. "We'll get this overturned. You've done nothing wrong." We fought it together. I filed an appeal. Lisa testified on my behalf. Even Caleb provided a statement that my equipment was legal, private, and well within residential standards. It took 3 weeks, but the violation was overturned. Karen's influence was fading fast. The final nail in her coffin came not from me, but from a neighbor I barely knew. Mr. Keating, an older veteran who lived across the street and rarely spoke, called the HOA hotline anonymously and tipped us off. Turns out, Karen hadn't just been stealing packages, he'd been rerouting some of them using insider information from the HOA mail logs. She had a friend in the local post office who was helping her intercept specific deliveries. That friend is now under investigation, and Karen, well, she moved out. Just disappeared. One day her car was there, the next it wasn't. For sale sign went up 2 days later, and by the end of the month, the house was vacant. The stone lions, gone again, and that was truly the end. Today, life in Crestwood Ridge is calm again. Lisa is the new HOA president. We changed the bylaws so no one person can run the board unchecked again. We even added a porch camera fund for residents, offering partial reimbursement for security systems just in case. I still get nods and winks from people at the mailbox. A few still call me Glitter Guy, and honestly, I kind of like it. As for me, I finally accepted Lisa's request. I'm not the president, but I did join the board, not for power, just to keep the peace. Because after all this, I learned something. Peace only lasts when people are willing to stand up for it. So now, when I get a delivery alert on my phone, I don't rush to the door in fear. I sip my coffee, glance out the window, and smile, because I know it'll still be there. And Karen, she won't.